Things are gonna get better now. But you're still a drunken slob. Things are gonna get better.
Yes. How about that? Headbangers and Hooligans rolling on a Monday. As always, yours truly, Scummalicious, ready to deliver the goods as always. It's a Metal Monday. And by the way, also, I did upload my second YouTube video this morning. Go ahead and check it out over on the Headbangers and Hooligans Facebook page. And trust me, just like the podcast, it will get better over time. It will. You just gotta have faith in me. You know, I'll get the intro music going. You know, I'll get it all neat looking and sounding awesome, or try to. But as you know, there won't be a ton of effects, like I always say. This is as real as it gets in the Scummalicious studio, right? I mean, basically it is just me and a microphone and a laptop, but that does not matter. What am I talking about, though? Today. Headbangers Ball. Remember that? That entity, that machine, is what I like to call it, that started back in the 80s on MTV when MTV was good and they actually played music. Huh. Those were the days, the glory days, as I call them, and pretty much the reason why I ended up at the Art Institute of Atlanta. Okay? And I posted this earlier. I couldn't play an instrument at the time, but I loved listening to music. And that commercial, do you want to be in the record industry? Do you want to be an audio engineer, manager, promotion, the whole 9 yards? And in the summer of '89, no, not the summer of '69, like Bryan Adams saying, I know what you're trying to do there. That's good. No. But in the summer of '89, I seen that video, or that commercial, and I thought, yep, sounds good. Hey, Mom, what? I've decided what I'm going to do after what I'm going to do now. What's that? I'm going to Atlanta. What? Yeah. Fuck, just look at the commercial. Look at that. Everything right there. I've never been out of the state of Iowa. Might as well make it Atlanta, Georgia. Okay. Honestly, that's really kind of how that went. And in hindsight, I don't regret 1 second of it. Would it have been nice to go down there and visit? Before I made the biggest decision of my life at that point. Yeah, it would have been nice, but it just didn't happen. What I wanted to come up with is the 12 top videos from Headbangers Ball that made me pick that as the choice for me to further my education. And I wrote it, I posted it on there too. I wrote, I was going to be a big famous record producer and, own a gigantic record label. Yeah, that didn't happen. But holy shit, do I have some good memories. So with these 12 videos here, they're not in order, okay? I don't consider one that much bigger than the other video. They're all kind of the same, so I lumped them together. And there will be probably a couple of surprises for you. But remember, this is all 80s. Anything after 89, which there were a few bands like Pantera that I got into. But this is all 80s stuff. These are the videos that kind of started this machine known as Scummalicious, in the infant stages. Alright. So how do I kick this off? Except balls to the wall. You got your balls to the wall. Ba-dun, ba-dun, da-dun, dun. Balls to the wall, man. Remember him? He had the short hair and he wore the the camo. I'm not kidding you. The first time I seen that, I was like, who are these? Like, they look like angry people. And I even wrote it down. I remember in my notes there, I wrote, not a band for the ladies, except is a band for guys. Kind of like Rush. You know, when you hear people talk about Rush or watch anything on TV about them, there's never a woman involved. You know, it's pretty technical music, and chicks just don't get into shit like that. You know, especially if you go to a Rush concert, and the band even says that. They're like, there ain't no women to be found anywhere. So, I mean, it happens, but, I mean, a song like Balls to the Wall, and you're like, what was I, 15 or 16? You know, at the time, I'm like, oh my God, is he really singing that? Did he just say balls? Holy fuck, what was I mean, you know, the shit we hear now, I was making a big deal about the word balls. Alright. Rat. Round and Round. How about that? Holy cow. Sorry, I got sidetracked there for a minute. Cheech and Chong's on TV. It's a great song. It's an iconic song. I think on VH1 they had a countdown. It's like in their 100 greatest songs ever. I agree. And you know, you can consider them a glam band, whatever you want, but that fucking song, that video is awesome. Milton Berle's in it, you know, and then the guitar solo. You know, Warren DeMartini falls through the floor, right, lands on the table, and then he points up, and then Robin Crosby does his part of the guitar solo. But that riff, right? Round and round, what comes around goes around. I'll tell you why. Dig. Yeah, Stephen Pearcy Dick. By the way, Stephen Pearcy now. Yuck. Iron Maiden. Number 10, by the way. And I've already explained it. I'm just doing the countdown, so keeps me in line, alright? But Iron Maiden could be the number one reason why I did go to Atlanta. Anyway, Run to the Hills. The first time I seen that video, I was just like, wow. How come I can't do that? How come I can't sing like that? I want to have giant wristbands with metal spikes on my arms. Run to the hills. It's Iron Maiden. And you know, I had that debate not too long ago about Paul Di'Anno and Bruce Dickinson. They're both good, okay? I still love all the music they did with Bruce Dickinson. Paul Di'Anno just is my favorite. Video number 9 here. This is going to be a weird one for it. Well, not weird, but probably kind of unique coming from me because I don't talk about them very much. And I probably should a little more. Anyway, Motorhead, Killed by Death. And I just remember seeing the video on USA, and they had a name. I can't remember, like Hour Power or something, but I just caught like the last 30 seconds of it. And I thought, wow, that's a crazy song. Killed by death. Dun dun. Killed by death. You know, that kind of really sums up the song, right? You were killed by death. Okay, Lemmy. But anyway, that kind of stuck in my head. And lo and behold, like the next week, it was on Headbangers Ball. And it's, I don't know, it's not like this amazing video where all this shit's happening. It's just mainly him riding around on motorcycles. What I remember. I guess when you're 16 or 17 or however fucking old I was, the phrase "killed by death," it just stuck with me. You know? Yeah, you know what? What's Scummalicious? I'm gonna go to Atlanta. Why? Because I just heard the song "Killed by Death." Alright, okay. You go on with yourself, bad boy. Song 8. Guns N' Roses, Welcome to the Jungle. First time I seen that video, and that album, Appetite for Destruction, holy shit, really? For a lot of the young kids that weren't around at that time, you have to understand the music industry in the 80s, alright? You know, we're talking pop music, which there's a reason it's pop music. That's what most younger people listen to. It really was gigantic. And there was no fucking downloading. People actually went out to the store and bought albums. Shocker, I know. But like Cyndi Lauper and Madonna, Michael Jackson, you know, Duran Duran, and Def Leppard. I love High and Dry, and I love Pyromania. But man, towards the end of the decade, they were not real heavy anymore. But then all of a sudden you get Guns N' Roses, you know, and they look rough and pissed off, and they get the big explicit lyrics sticker on the cassette, and you're like, holy shit. And you know, second song in, It's So Easy, so fucking easy. And I'm like, wow, this band, he said, you know, Alex Rose says fuck all over the place. Now, later on, we realized Alex Rose is a complete fucking douchebag. But, no doubt about it, from my teenage years, the one thing that stands out, Slash with that hat, you know, playing that guitar solo, and Steven Adler, and, you know, Duff, and Izzy, and they do it. You know, they look kind of dirty and rough, and that's why that album just exploded. You know, we loved hearing a band that wasn't all poppy and happy. You know, talking about drinking and shooting up heroin and getting fucked up, and yeah, you know, pretty iconic shit right there. Number 7, Metallica 1. First video they ever made, and in hindsight, when I look back on it, that really, after they made that video, the greatness of that band ended for me. All right, I know the Black Album is a good album. I just fucking hate it. I hate that fucking album. All right, there's just no other way for me to slice it. But one, and listen, even if you're not a big Metallica fan, that song is fucking incredible. The lyrics, and I'm not talking about the recording. I've talked about that at nauseam before too, and now they have 2 or 3 different remixed versions on YouTube. Leave it alone. That's part of the reason why that album is the way it is. It's a heavy, very complex album, and the sound should be that way. Yeah, the bass is lost in the mix, but who cares? It should be that way. But the video for that, you know, where the guy is alive but he can't see, you know, can't talk, you know, and I can't remember the movie that's based off of. But that's the one thing with Metallica. You know, there's usually a deep meaning in a lot of their songs, especially like Master of Puppets, which is, they say, is a concept album. And you know, Master of Puppets, the title track is about addiction, cocaine addiction, and it's just rough for me now when I hear them, you know. And Hardwired to Self-Destruct, the last album, it was a solid album, but they just can't recapture what they had, you know. I don't know why they didn't come out with Reload Part 2. That would have been fucking nice, huh? Alright, no reason to go down that road. I'm in a pretty good mood for a Monday. On a metal Monday. Number 6. Yeah, we're flying through this. Dio. Holy Diver. this video, and I know it's an extremely cheesy video. Ronnie James Dio's walking around with this sword. But what would you expect? It's Ronnie James Dio. That's what the fuck he did. And oh God, that. And I get it. I know, like, the rhythm of the song is simple, but it's so metal. Like, the devil horns are up during that entire song. Dun, 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 dun. And I still say to this day, one of the best guitar solos ever. Vivian Campbell fucking shreds that shit on that solo. I don't care what anybody says. And it's Dio. And it's just always hard to believe when you hear him sing that he was like 5'3". That giant voice. Unbelievable. And it's just a great fucking song. Holy Diver. When somebody says, hey, how would you describe heavy metal in one song? Holy Diver. Ronnie James Dio. Alright. Song number 5. Def Leppard, Let It Go. And for those of you that have been listening to me for a long time, you know this. High and Dry was the first cassette that I ever purchased. Or, a lot of goodies going on in the background. Ba-da-da-da-la-bum-ba. You want me to talk about Richie Valens? That's good, because I don't know anything besides that song. Alright. And, oh, Mom, yes. Sidetrack. Damn it, Scum, let's just stay focused. Prick. Anyway, when Mom bought that cassette for me, I was excited because of Let It Go. I seen that video. Hey, Mom. Hey, can you get me the new Def Leppard cassette, High and Dry? No. Go get a fucking job, you little loser. I'm so sick of feeding you. And then she would, like, ram my head into the door and get me in a headlock. I remember one time her coming in the room, dragging me out of bed before school, get me in a figure 4 leg lock. I'm like, why do you do this to me, Mom? I'm kidding. I love Mom. Thank you for buying the High and Dry. Listen, that entire album just fucking kills every time. Every time I listen to it, and I'm learning it on guitar, the whole album. Steve Clark is a fucking genius. He really is. But Let It Go, when I seen that, and it's just a simple video, it's just them performing on stage, which really, when you think about it, it's the way all videos should be. I was like, I gotta have this song, And Joe Elliott was bringing it on that one, Good stuff. Number 4 here, Loudness. You know how much I love me some Loudness. Rock and roll crazy nights, we are the heroes tonight. And then Akira Takasaki just does all the crazy dive bombs with the whammy bar on that solo. Wow, 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 wow. Hey, that was pretty good right there. One of my better sound effects that I've done in the last couple months. But when first time I seen it, I was like, wow, all Japanese metal band. And the way they recorded it, I don't know, it looked like they were using a camcorder, kind of, I don't know. But the song was so good, it didn't matter. It really didn't. And I still love that song. I love Loudness. Soldier of Fortune. Remember that one? That was in one of my lists. You got to check them out, okay? And they're still making albums. It's fucking insane. Japan knows what's up when it comes to music. Alright. Number 3, and I'm telling you, you'll know what I'm talking about. At least I hope, if you're a headbanger like me. Grim Reaper, See You in Hell. See you in hell, my friend. See you in hell, my friend. And I know I've mentioned this a lot too. Like the guitarist, Nick Bocott, who was left-handed, by the way. But, unlike Jimi Hendrix, he just used a left-handed guitar. And then Steve Grimmett, the lead singer, Grim Reaper had the Iron Maiden look, only a little more metal, they had some extra spikes, kind of. But the bass player, man, he was, how old was he in that video? Like, probably close to fucking 60. You know, he's one of those guys, kind of like, got a lot of hair on top, but he lets it grow long and back. Kind of like fucking Hulk Hogan did. Hey, I'm not ripping on him, though. I don't care what fucking age he's at. He brought it on that song in that video. How can you not love a song like that when you're like, I don't even know how old I was, 12 or 13? You know, oh, they're satanic. See you in hell. And then, of course, Steve Grimmin had the big, you know, the big opera-like voice that a lot of the metal, power metal bands had. See you in hell. I'll see you in hell. You know, like some of the letters kind of get overpronounced, but in a good way, not like fucking dipshit from Blink-182. This one might surprise you. Number 2. I think you're going to know who number 1 is after I tell you about this one. David Lee Roth, Yankee Rose. Remember that one? I don't care. That song just blows me away because of Steve Vai. You know, he does all the little, like, hey, talking about a Yankee Rose. Wow, wow. You know, it's like the guitar is talking. Wow, 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 wow. That was, you know, it started out good, but then when I did it a second time, the effect, it lost its effectiveness. But talking about a Yankee Rose, she's a vision from coast to coast to coast. I don't know. I never get tired of watching that video either. You know, Steve Vai's fascinating to me. I loved him in Crossroads. You know, he was the guitar player for Satan. Him and Ralph Macchio. Way better than any fucking rap battle you're gonna hear. You know, 2 guys slaying it on guitar. One's for God and one's for Satan. And then number 1, Pastor Pussycat Bathroom Wall. And I know, you know, and the first time I seen it, I was like, that name is so fucking cool, right? And then you see the band, you're like, wow, are these guys or are these women? You know what? I don't care. I still don't. That fucking album is still awesome, you know? Got your number off the bathroom wall. And I decided it was about time I made the call. Or something like that. That wasn't bad. But yeah. I mean, and then I get to Atlanta, you know, and they played in Atlanta like a month after I got there. I didn't have money to go, but kind of ironic that happened. And yeah, that's it. Those 12. Now listen, there's a lot more that I've seen, but those were the 12 that are still implanted in this giant empty cranium of mine. Yeah, I still remember a little bit of shit. Got short-term memory loss here and there, but yeah, I'm doing okay. Alright. There you go for Metal Monday. And like I said, I'm going to keep doing the videos, and everything that I do, I'm going to post on the Facebook page. So that's a good way. Just keep checking on it so you can see all the nice, neat little things that I'm doing. Alright, take it easy, and if it's easy, take it twice. I'm out.